Knox is in the news, so let's talk about it. Elon and Trump says that they're going to inspect Fort Knox to see if all the gold is there, and why are they doing this, and what does it mean? First, let's talk about the history of Fort Knox. Fort Knox was built in 1936 in response to the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which required U.S. citizens to sell their gold to the federal government. Believe it or not, that was the thing. The first shipments arrived in 37. At its peak in 1941, Fort Knox held 649 million ounces, which, to put it in perspective, is about 20,205 tons. At the time, it was more than half of the world's gold supply. As of today, they say it holds around 147.3 million ounces, which is about 4,600 metric tons, and it's supposedly valued at over 280 billion, which, quite frankly, is a drop in the bucket considering the federal debt, etc. Represents more than half of the U.S. Treasury's gold reserves, but most of it is stored in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York in Manhattan. There are no visitors. There's no public tours. Very few people, if any, know the full security of it. It's guarded by something called the U.S. Mint Police, which is an elite trained security force. Those guys are very, very tough. Last time outsiders were allowed in was in 74, when a small congressional delegation led by then Treasury Secretary William Simon inspected the vault. The most recent was in 2017, when Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin visited and assured the public that the gold is safe. There's always been conspiracy theories around it. Some of them that there is actually no gold there at all, that the government secretly removed it years ago, either sold off as used as collateral to pay for government debts. The other big conspiracy theory about the no gold is that it's completely empty. These really gained traction after the U.S. went off the gold standard under Nixon in 71, which meant that paper money was no longer backed by gold. And that's when inflation began, and they just started printing money like crazy. Another one of them is that there are fake bars there, that it doesn't contain gold bars. It contains gold bars, but they're not solid gold. They're gold-plated tungsten, which is a metal that has similar weight and density. This theory really gained momentum in 2009 when a shipment of gold-plated tungsten bars was discovered in Hong Kong. People say if those bars are in Hong Kong, they could exist in Fort Knox too. Um, some of the other more outlandish theories is that there's no gold there at all, but it holds government secrets, Area 51 stuff, alien technology, etc., etc. Other people say that it's ancient treasures, historical artifacts, things like that. Currently, the government's official stance is, of course, that all the gold is there and there's no problem. Although no one's ever really done an audit. The last audit was like 60 years ago. And even when they do let these people in, they only let them see a real small part of it. So Truthfully, nobody really knows what the hell is going on over there. Now, why is Elon and Trump suddenly so interested in it? Well, if it were to get out that there's no gold there, or there is a lot less gold than is supposed to be there, the dollar would collapse. Now, as I said, the dollar is not backed by gold anymore and hasn't since the Nixon era, but that wouldn't matter. People would freak out. And not only the United States would freak out, the whole world would freak out. Now, America doesn't have most of the gold. Most of the gold in the world is in China and India. And we're not talking about, just government gold. Citizens have gold. And in China and India, they've had gold for hundreds of years. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Way before the United States even existed. So, if it were to get out that everything isn't kosher there, it would be a big worldwide problem. Could very likely destroy the U.S. economy, really destroy it. People would just freak out. Now, why would Elon and Trump want that to happen? Well, they want it to happen because they're crypto bros. And they don't want people to have trust in gold, in banks, in any of that. They want people to trust crypto, Bitcoin, meme coins, Ethereum, etc., etc. That's their end game here, is that they do want people to freak out. They want banks to have problems. They want the economy to have problems. And then they want to switch over everybody to trusting in crypto. In crypto, we trust. Dangerous, 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 because crypto has nothing behind it. At least the dollar at some point had gold behind it, and gold still exists. Crypto is just, it's just crypto. It's just numbers on a computer screen. You can't buy anything with it, really. You can't do anything with it. It's highly volatile. There's no recourse if you lose it or somebody steals it. There's no FDIC. There's absolutely no recourse at all. And crypto thefts are in the billions every year. In the billions every year. Why do they want everybody on crypto? Because they want basically one world government kind of thing. It's an oligarchy, right? They want to have the cash. You better believe Elon and his pals, they're going to buy gold. They're going to keep dollars of all different currencies. Crypto, sure, they'll have a lot of that too, but they want to corner the market on everything else as well. So that's really what's going on with all of this Fort Knox talk you're hearing about. That's what's going on. That's the history of it. And that's why, these oligarchs want people to just completely lose trust in gold. And if they do a live stream like Elon wants, Elon says he wants to go there and do a live stream showing all of Fort Knox. And if they actually allow him to do that, there's not a lot of gold there, and frankly, even if all of the gold was there and everything was perfect, they're gonna still spin it into some weird conspiracy theory type thing, and it's gonna be a disaster. I don't think they can let him do this, but who knows? I mean, Trump has complete control of everything, and it sounds like if he wants to do it, they're going to be able to do it. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens with all of this craziness, but that's why you're suddenly hearing about Fort Knox. Lauren Feldman, laurenfeldman.com.